Question 1. A PMP certified project manager is leading an Agile project where the team is struggling with frequent, unexpected changes in requirements late in the iteration. Which Agile principle should the project manager emphasize to the team to address this challenge effectively? A. Working software is the primary measure of progress. B. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. C. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. D. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Answer: C. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. This Agile principle directly addresses the reality of evolving needs in complex projects by valuing flexibility over rigid adherence to initial plans. In Agile environments, changes are not seen as disruptions but as opportunities to deliver greater value, especially when customer needs become clearer over time. For instance, if a user testing a new feature identifies a critical enhancement, an Agile team readily incorporates this feedback to build a more valuable product. Embracing change, even late in an iteration, allows the project to deliver a solution that is truly relevant and competitive for the customer. Question 2. During an Agile project, a team member identifies a potential risk that could significantly impact the project's ability to deliver value. What is the most appropriate Agile approach for managing this risk? A. Document the risk in a comprehensive risk register and review it annually. B. Transfer the risk to a third-party vendor through a fixed-price contract. C. Discuss the risk openly with the team, prioritize it, and develop a plan to mitigate or respond to it within a short cycle. D. Escalate the risk immediately to the project sponsor for a decision without team input. Answer: C. Discuss the risk openly with the team, prioritize it, and develop a plan to mitigate or respond to it within a short cycle. Agile risk management emphasizes continuous, transparent, and collaborative identification and response to risks, integrating these activities into regular team interactions. Risks are not just documented but are actively discussed, often during daily stand-ups or sprint planning, to ensure the team collectively understands and prioritizes potential impacts on value delivery. For example, if a team foresees a technical dependency issue, they might immediately schedule a brief spike to explore solutions or adjust the sprint backlog to tackle it proactively. Proactive, collective problem-solving within short cycles helps Agile teams adapt quickly to uncertainty and maintain focus on delivering value. Question 3. A new Scrum team is forming, and team members are unclear about their individual responsibilities. Who is ultimately accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team? A. The Scrum Master. B. The Project Manager. C. The Product Owner. D. The Development Team. Answer: C. The Product Owner. The Product Owner is the single person accountable for maximizing the value of the product delivered by the development team, primarily by managing the product backlog. This role involves clearly articulating product backlog items, ordering them to best achieve goals and missions, and ensuring the product backlog is transparent and understood by everyone. For example, the product owner might reprioritize items based on new market insights or user feedback to ensure the team is always working on the highest value features. Their deep understanding of stakeholder needs and business value is crucial for guiding the team's efforts effectively. Question 4. An Agile team has just completed a sprint, and the product owner is disappointed because several features were not completed as planned. What is the most appropriate action for the Scrum Master to take in this situation? A. Extend the sprint duration to allow the team to complete the remaining features. B. Encourage the team to discuss the reasons for the incomplete work during the sprint retrospective and identify improvements. C. Reassign the incomplete features to a different team for the next sprint. D. Insist that the team work overtime in the next sprint to catch up. Answer: B. Encourage the team to discuss the reasons for the incomplete work during the sprint retrospective and identify improvements. The sprint retrospective is a key Scrum event specifically designed for the team to inspect itself and create a plan for improvements to be enacted during the next sprint. This event provides a safe space for the team to reflect on what went well, what could be improved, and why certain challenges, like incomplete work, occurred. For instance, the team might realize they overestimated their capacity or faced unexpected technical impediments, leading to actionable steps for the next sprint. By fostering continuous improvement, retrospectives empower the team to learn from their experiences and enhance their future performance. Question 5. A project manager on an Agile project wants to ensure the team is continuously improving their processes and interactions. Which of the following Agile events or practices is best suited for this purpose? A. Sprint planning. B. Daily Scrum. C. Sprint review. D. Sprint retrospective. Answer: D. Sprint retrospective. The sprint retrospective is a formal opportunity at the end of each sprint for the Agile team to inspect its past sprint and identify and plan for improvements to their processes, tools, and interactions. It serves as a continuous learning loop, allowing the team to adapt and become more effective over time. For example, if the team finds their communication was poor, they might decide to implement a new tool or meeting structure for the next sprint. Remember, this event is all about making things better for the team, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Question 6. A software development team is consistently delivering features that meet the technical specifications but are not fully satisfying end-user needs. Which Agile practice is most likely to help address this issue? A. Establishing a detailed project management plan at the outset. B. Increasing the frequency of external stakeholder meetings. C. Conducting frequent demonstrations of working software to stakeholders and soliciting feedback. D. Implementing stricter change control processes for requirements. Answer: C. Conducting frequent demonstrations of working software to stakeholders and soliciting feedback. Frequent demonstrations of working software, typically during a sprint review in Scrum, are crucial for ensuring that what is being built truly meets stakeholder needs. By getting direct, early feedback on tangible product increments, the team can quickly identify and address any misalignment between technical delivery and user expectations. For example, a user might see a new feature in action and realize it's missing a critical workflow step, allowing the team to adapt immediately rather than discovering the issue too late. This continuous feedback loop helps Agile teams deliver relevant value and avoid building the wrong product. Question 7. A PMP candidate is learning about different Agile scaling frameworks. Which framework focuses on applying lean and Agile principles at an enterprise scale, organizing teams into Agile release trains, ARTs, that deliver solutions incrementally? A. Scrum at scale. B. Large-scale Scrum, less. C. Disciplined Agile, DA. D. Scaled Agile Framework, SAFe. Answer: D. Scaled Agile Framework, SAFe. The Scaled Agile Framework, SAFe, is a comprehensive framework that provides guidance for scaling lean and Agile development practices to the enterprise level. It organizes teams into Agile release trains, ARTs, which are long-lived teams of Agile teams that, along with other stakeholders, incrementally develop, deliver, and operate one or more solutions. For instance, a large organization might use SAFe to coordinate multiple development teams working on different components of a complex product, ensuring alignment and synchronized delivery. SAFe helps large organizations achieve business agility by providing structure around roles, events, and artifacts at multiple levels. Question 8. In an Agile project, what is the primary purpose of a definition of done, DoD? A. To list all the features to be completed by the end of the project. B. To define the acceptance criteria for individual user stories. C. To create a shared understanding of what it means for work to be complete and releasable. D. To outline the project's overall budget and schedule. Answer: C. To create a shared understanding of what it means for work to be complete and releasable. The definition of done, DoD, is a critical Agile concept that establishes a common agreement within the team about the quality standards and conditions that a product increment must meet to be considered done and potentially releasable. It goes beyond mere completion of coding, often including items like testing, documentation, and integration. For example, a DoD might specify that all code must pass unit tests, be peer-reviewed, and deployed to a staging environment before it's considered done. This shared understanding ensures consistent quality and transparency, reducing misunderstandings about the readiness of work. Question 9. An Agile team is experiencing frequent interruptions from stakeholders directly asking team members for status updates and new requests, impacting their focus. What is the most effective way for the Scrum Master to address this challenge? A. Encourage the team to ignore all external requests. B. Act as a buffer between the team and external interruptions, channeling all communication through the product owner. C. Schedule a dedicated weekly meeting for all stakeholders to receive updates and submit requests. D. Instruct the team to document all interruptions in a log for review at the sprint retrospective. Answer: B. Act as a buffer between the team and external interruptions, channeling all communication through the product owner. The Scrum Master serves the development team in several ways, including helping them focus on creating high-value increments by removing impediments and protecting them from external interference. By channeling communication through the product owner for new requests and updates, the Scrum Master ensures the team can maintain its focus on the sprint goal without constant distractions. For example, if a stakeholder approaches a developer directly, the Scrum Master would gently redirect them to the product owner to ensure requests are properly prioritized through the product backlog. This helps maintain team flow and optimizes their productivity. Question 10. A PMP project manager leading a large-scale Agile program needs to ensure that multiple interdependent Agile teams are aligned and delivering a cohesive solution. Which meeting or event is specifically designed for cross-team coordination and synchronization in many scaling Agile frameworks? A. Daily Scrum for each team. B. Sprint retrospective for each team. C. Scrum of Scrums. D. Product backlog refinement. Answer: C. Scrum of Scrums. The Scrum of Scrums is a coordination meeting designed to facilitate communication and address interdependencies among multiple Agile teams working on a common product or solution. Representatives from each team, often the Scrum Master or a designated team member, attend to discuss progress, impediments, upcoming work, and potential cross-team issues. For example, if Team A needs an API developed by Team B, this meeting is where such dependencies are highlighted and coordinated. It's a key mechanism for scaling Scrum beyond a single team, ensuring alignment and unblocking issues that affect multiple teams. Question 11. An Agile team has completed their sprint, and during the sprint review, the product owner discovers that a critical security feature implemented in the last sprint is not working as expected. This feature was marked as done according to the team's definition of done. What is the most likely cause of this issue? A. The sprint planning was inadequate. B. The product owner did not provide clear enough requirements. C. The definition of done was insufficient or not rigorously followed. D. The team lacked the necessary technical skills. Answer: C. The definition of done was insufficient or not rigorously followed. The definition of done, DoD, is a shared understanding of what it means for work to be complete and of high quality, including aspects like testing, integration, and potentially security. If a critical feature marked done is found to be non-functional, it strongly indicates that the DoD was either lacking specific quality checks, e.g., security testing wasn't included, or the team didn't rigorously adhere to its own established criteria. For example, if the DoD didn't explicitly require security penetration testing, a vulnerability might slip through. A robust and consistently applied DoD is essential for ensuring product quality and preventing such issues from reaching stakeholders. Question 12. A project manager is transitioning a traditional project to an agile approach. The team is concerned about managing scope changes effectively. Which agile principle emphasizes embracing change throughout the project lifecycle? A. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter timescale. B. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. C. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. D. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. Answer: C. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. This agile principle is fundamental to managing scope in an adaptive way, recognizing that requirements can and often do evolve as the project progresses and stakeholders gain more clarity. Instead of fighting against change, agile approaches leverage it as an opportunity to deliver a more valuable and relevant product. For example, if market conditions shift mid-project, an agile team would adjust its backlog to incorporate new, more urgent features, rather than being constrained by the initial fixed scope. Embracing change allows the project to stay aligned with current business needs and deliver superior competitive advantage. Question 13. In an agile project, what is the purpose of a sprint goal? A. To define the total budget for the sprint. B. To list all the individual tasks each team member must complete. C. To provide a short-term objective for the sprint that the development team commits to achieve. D. To outline the long-term vision of the product. Answer: C. To provide a short-term objective for the sprint that the development team commits to achieve. The sprint goal is a single, concise objective that the development team commits to achieving during a sprint, providing focus and cohesion for their work. It represents a shared understanding of why the sprint is valuable and helps the team make trade-offs and collaborate effectively if challenges arise. For instance, a sprint goal might be, enable users to securely log into the new portal, guiding the team's efforts across multiple user stories. This shared objective ensures that even if specific backlog items need to be adjusted, the team remains aligned on the overall value they intend to deliver. Question 14. A product owner is continually adding new, high-priority items to the product backlog, leading to an ever-growing backlog and a feeling of being overwhelmed by the development team. What technique can help the product owner manage the product backlog more effectively and ensure its focus? A. Insist on a strict, no new features, policy for the remainder of the project. B. Prioritize items based on the first in, first out principle. C. Apply backlog refinement techniques, focusing on value, risk, and dependencies, and regularly deprioritize or remove low-value items. D. Ask the development team to work faster to clear the backlog. Answer: C. Apply backlog refinement techniques, focusing on value, risk, and dependencies, and regularly deprioritize or remove low-value items. Backlog refinement, formerly known as backlog grooming, is an ongoing process where the product owner and development team collaborate to add detail, estimates, and order to product backlog items. This involves constantly prioritizing based on value, risk, and dependencies, and crucially, removing or deprioritizing items that are no longer relevant or valuable. For example, if market research shows a feature is no longer desired, the product owner should remove it to keep the backlog lean and focused on high-impact work. This active management ensures the backlog remains manageable, clear, and aligned with the product vision. Question 15. An agile team is experiencing communication breakdowns and conflicts due to differing opinions and lack of mutual understanding. Which core value from the Agile Manifesto should the Scrum Master emphasize to help the team overcome these challenges? A. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. B. Working software over comprehensive documentation. C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. D. Responding to change over following a plan. Answer: A. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. The Agile Manifesto values individuals and interactions over processes and tools, because effective communication and collaboration among team members are more crucial for project success than rigid adherence to predefined processes or reliance on specific tools. When a team experiences communication breakdowns and conflicts, emphasizing this value encourages direct dialogue, empathy, and mutual understanding. For example, instead of relying on emails, the Scrum Master might encourage more face-to-face conversations or pair programming to build stronger relationships and resolve misunderstandings quickly. Fostering a culture where people communicate openly is essential for a high-performing Agile team. Question 16. What is the primary role of the Scrum Master in an Agile project? A. To manage the project budget and schedule. B. To maximize the value of the product and the work of the development team. C. To facilitate Agile events and help the team adhere to Agile practices and values. D. To direct the development team on how to complete their tasks. Answer: C. To facilitate Agile events and help the team adhere to Agile practices and values. The Scrum Master acts as a servant leader, primarily serving the Scrum team and the organization by facilitating Scrum events, coaching the team on Scrum principles and practices, and removing impediments to their progress. They don't manage the budget or direct the team's work, nor do they own the product value. That's the product owner's role. For instance, a Scrum Master might facilitate a sprint retrospective to help the team identify process improvements or shield the team from external distractions. Their role is to ensure the team operates effectively within the Agile framework. Question 17. An Agile team has completed their first sprint, and the product increment is ready for review. What is the main objective of the sprint review meeting? A. To plan the tasks for the next sprint. B. To identify what went wrong during the sprint and how to improve. C. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if needed. D. To assign individual work items to team members. Answer: C. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if needed. The sprint review is a collaborative working session where the Scrum team and stakeholders inspect the product increment created during the sprint and discuss its progress and potential adaptations to the product backlog. This event provides a transparent demonstration of what was built, allowing stakeholders to provide direct feedback and influence future development. For example, if a new feature doesn't quite meet expectations, the product owner can adjust the product backlog based on this feedback to ensure the next iteration addresses the issues. It's a crucial checkpoint for ensuring the product is evolving in the right direction. Question 18. A project team is practicing Kanban to manage their workflow. They notice a bottleneck forming at the testing stage, with many items piling up before they can be moved to done. What is the most direct action the team should take based on Kanban principles? A. Increase the number of items in the development stage. B. Limit the work in progress (WIP) for the testing stage. C. Add more features to the backlog. D. Switch back to a Scrum framework. Answer: B. Limit the work in progress (WIP) for the testing stage. A core principle of Kanban is to limit work in progress (WIP), meaning that you explicitly restrict the number of items in various stages of the workflow. When a bottleneck like a testing queue forms, the most direct action is to enforce or lower the WIP limit for that stage, effectively pulling fewer items into it until the bottleneck clears. For example, if testing has a WIP limit of 3 but 7 items are queued, the team stops pulling new items into testing until capacity frees up, encouraging everyone to help clear the blockage. This approach helps stabilize the flow, highlight system constraints, and improve overall throughput. Question 19. During a daily Scrum, a development team member states they are blocked because a necessary external API is not yet available. What is the most appropriate action for the Scrum Master to take? A. Tell the team member to find an alternative solution themselves. B. Add the API integration task to the product backlog. C. Facilitate the removal of the impediment by coordinating with external teams or stakeholders. D. Document the impediment and discuss it at the next sprint retrospective. Answer: C. Facilitate the removal of the impediment by coordinating with external teams or stakeholders. One of the key responsibilities of the Scrum Master is to remove impediments that hinder the development team's progress. When a team member identifies a block during the daily Scrum, the Scrum Master should proactively work to resolve it, often by coordinating with external parties or escalating issues appropriately. For instance, if an API is unavailable, the Scrum Master might contact the external team responsible for it to get an update or find a workaround. Their role is to ensure the team can maintain its flow and focus on delivering the sprint goal. Question 20. A PMP certified project manager is facilitating a workshop for a newly formed Agile team. When discussing team self-organization, which statement best describes this concept in an Agile context? A. Team members assign tasks to each other based on their individual strengths and weaknesses. B. The project manager dictates all tasks and deadlines to the team. C. The team collectively determines the best way to accomplish their work, without external micromanagement. D. Each team member works on whatever they choose, without coordination. Answer: C. The team collectively determines the best way to accomplish their work, without external micromanagement. Self-organization in Agile refers to the principle that the most effective and efficient development teams are those that collectively decide how to best achieve their goals. This means the team, rather than an external manager, is empowered to choose how to turn product backlog items into increments of value. For example, during sprint planning, the team collaboratively decides which backlog items to pull into the sprint and how they will break down and execute the work. This autonomy fosters ownership, creativity, and leads to more effective problem-solving and higher quality outcomes. Question 21. A project team is using an Agile approach and finds that stakeholders often have new ideas and changes they want to implement mid-sprint. What is the best Agile practice to manage these evolving requirements without disrupting the current sprint goal? A. Implement a strict change freeze once the sprint starts. B. Add all new requests immediately to the current sprint backlog. C. Encourage stakeholders to add new ideas to the product backlog for prioritization in future sprints. D. Stop the current sprint and replan with the new requirements. Answer: C. Encourage stakeholders to add new ideas to the product backlog for prioritization in future sprints. In Agile, the sprint backlog is relatively stable once a sprint begins, allowing the development team to focus on achieving its sprint goal without disruption. While Agile embraces change, new ideas and changes typically enter the product backlog first. The product owner then prioritizes these new items for consideration in subsequent sprints. For instance, if a stakeholder has a brilliant new feature idea, the product owner would thank them and add it to the product backlog, ensuring it's properly evaluated against other priorities for a future sprint. This approach allows the team to maintain focus on the current sprint's commitment while acknowledging and planning for future enhancements. Question 22. Which of the following best describes the role of the product owner in an Agile project regarding release planning? A. The product owner is solely responsible for determining the release date and scope without team input. B. The product owner defines the release vision and content, collaborating with the team and stakeholders on the release plan. C. The product owner only approves the release once all features are completed. D. The product owner develops the technical architecture required for the release. Answer: B. The product owner defines the release vision and content, collaborating with the team and stakeholders on the release plan. While the product owner is accountable for maximizing product value and managing the product backlog, their role in release planning is highly collaborative. They define the overarching product vision and content by ordering the product backlog, but they work closely with the development team, who provide estimates and capacity input, and other stakeholders to determine what can realistically be released and when. For example, the product owner might propose a set of features for an upcoming release, then collaborate with the team to understand their capacity and with stakeholders to ensure the release provides sufficient business value. This collaborative approach ensures alignment between business needs and technical feasibility. Question 23. A project manager is teaching a new Agile team about estimating work. What is the most common Agile estimation technique that focuses on relative sizing rather than absolute time, often using sequences like the Fibonacci series? A. 3-point estimating. B. Analogous estimating. C. Planning poker. D. Parametric estimating. Answer: C. Planning poker. Planning poker is a widely used Agile estimation technique where team members collaboratively estimate the effort or complexity of user stories. It uses relative sizing, often based on a modified Fibonacci sequence, e.g., 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, rather than precise time estimates. Each team member plays a card representing their estimate simultaneously, fostering discussion and convergence. For example, instead of saying a task will take 5 days, the team might estimate it as 8 story points, indicating it's significantly larger than a 3-point task. This approach leverages collective wisdom and helps create a shared understanding of work size. Question 24. A cross-functional Agile team is consistently struggling to complete their committed work within the sprint. Upon closer inspection, it's observed that team members are often waiting for others to finish their tasks before they can start theirs. Which Agile value is being undermined in this scenario? A. Courage. B. Focus. C. Openness. D. Respect. Answer: B. Focus. The Agile value of focus emphasizes that the team concentrates solely on the work selected for the sprint and the sprint goal, avoiding distractions. When team members are waiting for others due to task dependencies, it indicates a lack of focus on collective completion and often points to a lack of cross-functional collaboration. The team's collective focus should be on getting the committed items to done as a unit, not just individual tasks. For example, if a developer finishes their coding early, instead of waiting, they should ideally help a tester or another developer to clear the backlog in the sprint. This collaborative focus ensures the entire team's efforts contribute to the sprint goal efficiently. Question 25. An Agile team is performing poorly, showing low morale and frequent arguments. The Scrum Master believes the team is stuck in a particular stage of team development. According to Tuckman's stages of team development, which stage is characterized by conflict and competition as team members attempt to establish themselves? A. Forming. B. Storming. C. Norming. D. Performing. Answer: B. Storming. Tuckman's stages of team development describe the typical path groups go through from start to performing. The storming stage is characterized by conflict, competition, and resistance as team members try to establish their roles, express individuality, and deal with differing opinions or approaches. For example, team members might argue over technical decisions or prioritization, leading to decreased morale. Recognizing this stage allows the Scrum Master to facilitate open communication and help the team navigate through these conflicts to reach a more collaborative, norming stage.